Hey, hello everybody. Happy Happy Friday, even though we're doing Saturday morning cartoons with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. Super excited to be here live at FWA with the Fastest Furs. What a great time, great energy. We got a live audience out there. Let's hear it from the live audience. And special thanks, we have French restreamers. So if you're a French restreamer, give us a scream so I can hear you all the way in the United States. This is a super fun game. If y'all are familiar with Hades, it's kind of like Hades-inspired Ninja Turtles. We'll be doing a complete run with beating up the big baddie himself, Shredder, at the end of the game. We did have a bid war open for this game for which turtle we are going to complete the run with. They are all different. So if you could give me those results, I will select that turtle.
We had a pretty fun bid war. All of a sudden, you saw numbers flying all around, but in the end, coming out on top is the one with the attitude with $475. Let's see Raphael.
Let's do it. This guy's got some good dialogue. Y'all aren't going to regret it. So
I know this is one of your favorites, too.
I like him a lot. Yeah, I like him a lot. So there's a little bit of time with the zoning in, but we can start time once I zone to the sewers. I'll count it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Go. Cowabunga.
Cowabunga dudes.
I've always wanted to say
It
that.
up and ready for a scrap.
All right, so this is TMNT Splintered Fate, and you will immediately notice a lot of things that look very
Just like
similar to
Sensei
Hades.
intended.
We've got abilities, dash abilities, special abilities, tools, so a lot of different stuff that we'll talk about. Ferric is also going to be looking for scrap. Scrap is kind of like the currency for the run, but it's, you know, going to be going through a bunch of rooms, beating up on some stuff, and then opening boxes and collecting rewards in between. So.
Yeah, so you'll see scrap show up. Scrap is the in-game currency. There's dragon coins and dreamer coins. Those are kind of for permanent upgrades. I don't want any of those, so.
You also got a confidence +1, and you're already on Ooze. That is very exciting.
So Ooze dash specifically, it's not an attack, just when you dash through things, it will apply Ooze. You'll see them turn kind of pink. It's basically like a poison effect. So it's nice because it kind of does some damage over time, but I don't actually have to do an attack to activate it.
I see a Mouser there, but it seems to be helping you.
That's a Mouser buddy.
Yeah.
So occasionally there's like a 20% chance that you can summon allies. So that was an ally that got summoned. I don't have any control over that. That's just the game.
Yancy, what are your thoughts on Raphael?
When I played on Ferric's stream, I didn't really play Raphael, but I did notice those that did kind of destroyed everything really quickly because of his crits.
Yeah. Well, and you played a lot of multiplayer with this game. So talk about, like, when you were watching Ferric do, like, single player versus, like, 4-person multiplayer, like, what is the difference there?
Oh, it is so different. Multiplayer is a lot more difficult. There's a lot more enemies. They have a lot more health. They do a lot more damage. Watching Ferric do a speedrun of this, like, it's like night and day.
So that was our first little mini boss. In case you blinked and missed it,
I did.
He was not long for this world, so. But he does still count as a boss, a mini boss. So.
Yeah. And kind of like Hades, there's a particular build Ferric is going to be going for. I know that Ooze is part of that. We'll see if we get the other part of it that I know is Ferric's like big preference with this game. But a lot of that will just sort of take time to develop. I think there's like 4 stages that you go through, or 4 areas. That
4
you go
chapters,
through.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Tech, could I just have the game audio down a little bit so it's a little bit loud? Thanks.
Just going through a couple rooms here. Some favorites, some Foot Clan.
So there's our first pizza. What's pizza do in this game?
It's delicious.
It heals you.
Just like in real life.
Yes.
So this is our first shop, and this is our only shop manipulation in the game. I want to be activating the ninja tree, so I'm going to select ninja and then go to the shop so I get a ninja ability, because I'm trying to unlock a very specific ninja chain, so that I can actually go back here and reactivate it do a reroll and get another ninja ability, so that worked out really nicely.
Can't ever be ninja enough.
That's a little trick that Ferric was telling us about when we were kind of getting to getting the layout or the lowdown on the run, and just really cool like little tech that I think Ferric just kind of found on his own.
So this is our first mini boss. This is Leatherhead. It's good furry bait if y'all like furry stuff. So
here. The boss is going down pretty fast.
Oh wow, yeah.
Couple phases.
so he's
here.
got 2 dive phases. I'm gonna try to get him before he does a second dive phase because he's so low right now. So I'll take some damage here, just trying to lay a little bit of damage on him, because I'll be able to get that health back.
So close.
I think I could. See, there's a second dive phase, but I should be able to defeat him before. Oh gosh.
Oh,
I should be able to defeat him before he comes out of his second dive phase. So. Got
There
it.
you go. Nice.
That's pretty rare right there. So that worked out pretty nicely. Thank you for that.
He just had a splinter of
Work
health
harder.
left there.
Even lift.
I did take a lot of damage, unfortunately. I have to be careful, but this will be a good time for some announcements if we have any.
I would like to point out
There's the water
we
front.
have
And then there's
a lot of fun things going on for this marathon, and when you're making your donations, don't forget to assign it to an incentive or a bid war. We did just open up a couple more incentives. You get to name how do you pronounce it? Titus?
Yes.
Total? Todd? You can name Todd. And you can also name Veil 4. Those are open and ready and waiting for your custom names to, make your own little mark on this marathon.
Ooh, I saw Ferric's favorite ability, or one of your favorite abilities, Quick Hands.
Yeah, Quick Hands is good. We're still looking for Extended Assault. That's pretty much required for the build that I'm doing, and that's behind the 3 unlocks, and then it's a random chance to get it. So still kind of keeping our eye out for that. What that does is you can throw a shuriken when you actually dash, so you can start getting a lot of shurikens on the screen that way. Grabbing all the pizza I can because my health is not 100% right now.
You do have some extra lives, though. If,
Yeah, I do have extra
things
lives.
were
So
happening. Hey, pizza. There's also, I've noticed you're getting a lot of confidence as you go through this run.
fire starter.
yeah, confidence is a damageless run, so it's a damageless area, and then that confidence boost is going to give my special some additional damage that unlocks for the entire rest of the run. You do get iframes with dashing, so that's why a lot of times when I'm seeing stuff that's going to attack me, I will dash through it. And that's actually my buddy right there. He's helping with the fight, the good fight.
You're a little faster than your buddy, though.
A little bit faster than my buddy, exactly. I'll take an upgrade. So I have Ricochet. Ricochet is one of the shuriken abilities that I like. It's kind of a second-tier ability, but we'll make it work. What happens is when you throw your shurikens, they bounce off things instead of just coming back to you.
Let's get humping.
So he wasn't too bad. You just have to avoid that fire because that will deal a ton of damage. Okay, there we go. Now it's go
Ooh,
time.
yeah.
Got the extended assault.
All
So
right.
now I can start working on like a really nice build here.
I guess we gotta go see this guy.
Yeah, so kind of like in Hades, there are prerequisite abilities that you need to get before certain ones were unlocked. Although, Ferric, I think you were telling me that that was actually a fairly recent change to this specific skill
Yeah,
tree.
there was a recent patch that was done after my submission. So the build still works. It's just harder to get it together, especially early.
But you're well on your way now.
I'm well on my way. Plus, I have Ooze Shuriken, which is really nice because each of my Shurikens is also going to deal Ooze damage, in addition to my dashes dealing Ooze damage. So I can kind of like optimize my Shurikens and my Ooze to really kind of go to town.
Stop, we need to go back to the drawing
We've
board.
reached the eye candy portion of the run.
Just
Well, we-
now?
Well, it'll keep going. It'll keep getting there. What was your favorite build to play when you played this game a lot?
I liked using ooze.
Okay.
I I like that ooze damage.
Yeah, yeah. It reminds me. I ran a lot of Hades back in the day, and this reminds me of. Oh shoot, I'm gonna forget what it's called now, but the Ares tree would have a lot of damage over time as well. And it's just, especially when you're mainly focused on mobility, because dashing is such an important part of playing these
Exactly.
games.
Oh, yeah.
If you can just kind of deal passive damage to everything as you're running around, it really does so much of the work for you.
Yeah, and that's why Ooze Dash is so nice, because you kind of get that passive damage. Shuriken.
More shurikens.
I definitely don't want to do gauntlet challenges because those are like hard levels for unlocks. I've already unlocked all of those, so I don't want to accidentally take a gauntlet challenge during a speedrun. So this is Karai. This is our second boss of 4. She's tough. She has two little phases. She has kind of a mini phase. She goes Shadow Karai like that.
Now we're talking.
The purple poison deals lots of damage, so you want to avoid that as much as possible. And sometimes you just got to stand in there and put the beat on her. That's Karai, so 2 down,
was-
2 to go.
That was a whole other stage. Well done.
And this would be a good time for some announcements if you have any.
Yeah, Karai, just admit it. You're beat.
Just wanted to give a massive thank you from Team
Those
Cast for
henchmen's
Furry
beast
Weekend Atlanta
slopping
for
rocks,
allowing us to
sweaty, better
return for a
steer
third straight
clear.
year. We are so proud to be a part of FWA's amazing weekend programming and hope that everyone watching online considers attending in the future, perhaps. Make sure to check out their website, furryweekend.com. Follow them on your social media choice as well to get updates about future FWA events.
We're taking it to the streets here, Ferric.
It's already done. Oh my gosh. That was very good. I did not expect it to go quite that fast. All right, so Ooze can stack, sure.
That was a not pleasant sounding ability.
Yeah, the Ooze abilities have really fun names. Chunky Mixture.
If I was at a party and somebody came up to
Yeah.
me with the chunky mixture, I would not accept
Or I was
it.
going to say, like, if you party too hard at, like, FWA, sometimes you might,
no,
end,
that's
up,
what
you might
happens
end up with some
after,
Chunky
yeah.
Mixture.
Didn't we see that in Sign Out Wild Hearts already?
Great. So I'm really going for the shurikens right now if I can get them.
Tired of carrying all this crap around. You have returned. But have something good this time.
Yeah, so you're doing shops every once in a while. I know you're looking for specific abilities, and this is kind of where the scrap really comes into play, because if you've picked up enough scrap, that's going to let you, give you maximum buys,
Yep,
essentially.
exactly. The upgrades are the most expensive. They're going to cost 400 scrap, but I'm pretty much not going to spend my scrap on anything but the upgrades. And so I'm kind of locked into like a specific build that I like it. It's going to be like shurikens and then ooze. I have a little bit of fire as well because fire is going to give me a damage boost at the beginning of each chapter here or each like session. And because I go so fast, I pretty much keep that boost for this whole round.
I couldn't help but notice you didn't eat that pizza.
Well, unfortunately, I can't eat all the pizza because if I'm at full health, it won't let me eat it. So.
That's
Yeah, not with that attitude.
that is
Wasted pizza.
I'm at full health and eat pizza all the time. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
when I'm really healthy, you can't eat pizza. I mean, maybe the game is trying to tell us something there. So.
Promise it'll survive. Next time, back.
One other little thing I'll point out that I don't think we've talked about yet is when Ferric is, like, these screens are bigger than what Ferric can see on his screen. So a lot of times you'll see the little icons around the bottom. That is telling Ferric where the enemies are spawning or have already spawned in. So Ferric is going to be constantly kind of looking at the periphery of the screen, kind of making very quick decisions on where to go next, where to focus.
And then just try to pattern things with where the exit is if at all possible.
Because the rooms themselves are random, and then the enemies are mostly random as well in the way that they spawn in.
The rooms are
Pattern-wise.
fixed. The enemies are random.
My
the way they
fault,
spawn.
my
Yep,
fault.
you were close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wicked fire starter.
So why are we getting some fire going here too?
So yeah, the fire's nice. Extra damage. Plus, I unlocked 2 from the fire change. That with the shuriken, I can get like an ultimate unlock that's called Tempered Shuriken, which is really good. If it comes up, you'll see it in yellow, and I'll also call it out. Again, random chance to get now because I actually have all the unlocks to get that ultimate ability, which is going to be a yellow ability. And then Tempered Shuriken's like plus 40% crits with your shurikens or something. It's just very, very good. Well, sure, a little water, okay.
So you have confidence 15. What's the highest confidence you've ever had in a run?
Oh gosh, I don't know, but it's getting awfully high right now. So I think I'll just grab something ninja again because I'm not getting a lot of ninja picks. There it is, tempered shuriken,
Oh
so plus
my
40%
goodness.
critical hit chance.
Okay.
So that means all of my shurikens now have an additional 40% chance to crit. This
could get very melty.
This is going to get pretty melty pretty quick. So Bebop and Rocksteady, more furry bait. Yay, love these guys.
We love Bebop.
And that's
Rocksteady
phase
in
one.
this house. What?
And
Oh my
that's phase
gosh.
1.
Right with you, Bob. Juniper Jr.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
usually,
let this happen because you were showing me something in practice that can happen at the end of this, which is hilarious.
yeah,
I just want people to
usually
enjoy
phase
it.
1 goes a little bit faster than that, or a little bit slower than that, but that was very good. All right, let's polish these guys off. Sorry, they're fun. They're a fun classic Turtles character, and they're still talking, so we have to kind of let them do their dialogue because we went a little bit too fast. So,
But Ferric, they're not done with you yet.
yeah, they're still talking, and still talking, and we actually
we
cut
go.
them off. So.
You actually outspeeded
could
the
believe
game's
that, yeah.
ability to load dialogue.
Sorry about that mouse pointer. I didn't see that there.
Very
So.
good. Yeah.
Boss damage, dash. So this is additional dashes when I defeat enemies. So just increases my number of dashes, which with the ooze dash is very good. So I can just dash through stuff. Apply the ooze, and then with the goo, it's going to apply it very quickly, fast poison damage. So
Rockman needs to go back to the drawing board with you piece
Yeah,
of
another thing Ferric was explaining that made a lot of sense to me in my Hades brain again. I can't not make that analogy because
yeah,
just look
it's
at
very
the game.
Hades.
My regards,
So there's
fish ready.
certain slots, and then there's just kind of like passive abilities. So a lot of times Ferric will be able to go into other trees just to get a passive ability that's like flame or water.
Exactly.
But you have to be very careful not to pick something that will overwrite one of the abilities that you've already, like a dash ability, for example.
Yep, there's the overwriting that can happen. The dash abilities actually level up together. So if I take a level 1 dash of like water, I can grab a level 2 ooze and it will overwrite it. But you don't want to do that the wrong direction and get something that you don't want. And then yeah, let's see. Let me just think here for a second. So quick hands is good. Yeah, and then as you start choosing things in a certain skill tree, you're more likely to get that skill tree moving forward. So I'm more likely to get ooze and ninja unlocks because I have a lot of points invested into ooze and ninja right now. So you can see me kind of dashing. That is a big guy. But you can see me kind of dashing through him to apply the ooze while the shurikens are going off, just to make it a little bit easier.
I just see ooze. That's all I see is ooze and shurikens.
Yeah, this level is actually really hard if your build isn't like amazing because I'll explain it in a second here. Because they shoot like a 3-pronged beam attack. The beam does a ton of damage, and if you get multiple of them going, you kind of just get caught like in the beams of death. But again, if you can go fast enough and kill them before they get them off, then you're usually in pretty good shape. Like that. See, there's the 3 beams of death right there. And the beams deal a ton of damage, so you do have to be careful.
Avoid the beams of death. Got it. I'm gonna make a note.
More for the scrap heap.
Whoa, what are they all doing down there?
They were basically dead by the time you spotted them. Just because
Yeah,
you
I
sent a
think-
line of shurikens at them, and it just
And
like
they're like,
took away,
it's
almost all of
over.
their health.
Yeah. All right, so that's confidence. This is probably the highest confidence I've ever had. This is getting quite good. So let's see here. Potency is
Unfortunate
very
odor.
good.
Gosh,
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna say
The
it.
names of those things.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Unfortunate
FWA.
odor. But I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say
said
that
it.
relates to being at a con at all. Chunky mixture, however, we can go there. Goo, yeah, we can talk about goo.
As long as it's not in the way. Love it.
So that's my little mouser friend. He's gonna help me, I think. Maybe, maybe not.
He's trying his best.
He's trying, exactly. He gets an E for effort. Upgrade.
We have received a
So this is a mini boss.
Great.
The twin assassins. These guys are generally fairly difficult. So we'll see how it goes. They've got like shadow attacks that can dance around a little bit.
And
Oh, but they're done. Okay.
That didn't seem too difficult.
That I've got a good build. Let's just say that. So.
You've gotten the stone cold nuts, as I think.
So this is the last shot before Shredder. So we're actually going to switch into a dodge amulet to give me a little bit more invulnerability, and then I'm just going to apply some upgrades here. I'm re-rolling just to upgrade everything and spend my scrap. Everything I'm getting at the top is looking really good. Trailblazer's really good. Goo is really good. And I've got one more re-roll. And let's do this. All right, you got all ready for the final battle, Shredder? Let's see some claws in the chat if you're watching. Let's do it.
What are your thoughts on the Shredder fight?
So Shredder is a two-phase. He likes to talk, but we're not going to let him. And again, this is just about knowing his tells and timing attacks. Oh, I missed with my special.
It's just quite a difference seeing this run versus in multiplayer.
Definitely getting that chunky mixture on him. So that's phase one. We will be coming up on time in about a minute.
Do not taunt super happy Shredder.
All right. The purple stuff, again, is quite bad, so I want to avoid that as much as possible. Because that can take the health down really quick. So sometimes we'll get a sequence where he doesn't do that as much, and you can kind of wail on him a little bit more, but... And time will be when I enter the portal. There's a little bit more dialogue here. Shredder is gone. No. Yes, Shredder, yes. I'm sorry. Inconceivable.
Did you not get hit the whole time?
We'll see if I get a confidence at the end. I did not, so I must have taken a little bit of damage. I have done Shredder on confidence before, not this time though. And that's time. All right, so that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. If you enjoy a Hades-like game, this is the one for you. And gosh, it's fun to play alone, but it's really fun to play with your friends. This has 4-player co-op. You can all play a different turtle, and it is just a blast. I've played through it many times with my friends, and that's kind of what turned me onto the game in the first place. So a couple of shout-outs. Big thank you to FWA for hosting us. Big thanks to the Fastest First for taking this run as a showcase. I really enjoyed playing it. Shout-outs to my couch, Yeatsy, Blaze. Thank you for your commentary this run.
This was so fun.
Yeah, glad you all enjoyed it, and I will be leaving you, but coming up, I believe we have Final Fantasy X with a familiar face. Is it you, Yeatsy?
Final Fantasy X run. No.
This guy on the couch is going to be running Final Fantasy X, so stick around for that. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day watching the stream, and stay tuned for more fast fun. Goodbye.